Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brother. How are you?
Wa alaikum salam. Alhamdulillah, brother. I'm good.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Alhamdulillah. How's things? Everything okay?
Yeah, alhamdulillah. Just come out from a workout with you. Played a 40-minute badminton game. Feeling nice and refreshed. Alhamdulillah.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. So who won the game?
You won 3 games. I won 1 game, unfortunately.
Yeah, I let that one in, the one game.
Next week, inshallah.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. So yeah, brother, I wanted to ask you a question so that it will help you, myself, and those who's listening. The question is, what advice would you give to your younger self, knowing what you know now and experience in regard to finance?
In regards to finance?
Yeah.
It's a good question you asked. I thought you were going to ask me how, what advice would I give myself when I was just at my younger age in general.
Yeah.
But it's good you've said finance as well, because I could speak about a specific situation. So in terms of finances and stuff, I could, relate to you in a personal manner. I never really knew about finances much, right? Mm-hmm. My theory, like most people, is just you earn money, you save money, and when an event comes, whether it's your wedding or buying a house, you put money towards that house and so forth. Mm. But in terms of finance itself, it took me up until the pandemic to understand what actual, financial freedom is, financial management is, finding out the value of the actual finances that I had in the bank at the time. Mm. So before, I was just like everyone else, just saving money for what, Allahu Alam. And during the pandemic, you would see that there was a big surge in, people investing in the stock market and, finding about financial freedom. There's a movement called FIRE, I don't know if you've heard of it, Financial Independence, Retire Early, and so forth. Mm-hmm. So obviously during the pandemic, everyone had a bit of time on their hand, and I spoke to one of my neighbors who was investing in stocks and this and that. And so during the pandemic is when I actually found out about, financial independence and financial freedom and so forth. So that's when I started dabbling in the stock market and so forth and so forth. Now, it's only through that event that I understood that the money that I have, the finance that I have, it doesn't mean much, right? I will always be in the position that I am, on the salary that I'm on. I will always be, and I always say to everyone, no, even if you're on £100,000 a year salary, you're still going to be paying rent for the rest of your life, And as a Muslim, right, we've got to think beyond these, because the system that we live in, it's not beneficial to us. Not only that, the system that we live in is a very haram system, right? So, if someone wants to buy a house, for example, what are the only options? To get into riba. Makes sense. So, for me, it's trying to get away from that trap, if that makes sense. Trying to be free. Student loans is another example. It's one of those things that most Muslims that do go into university, and this is an assumption, I'm not saying thingy, and the people that I've seen around me, most of them would go and take a loan out. Yeah, and I know that's a debatable topic and that's a debatable area. I know there's some sheikhs that say it's permissible and some no, and so forth and so forth. But if you can get into a position where you could financially secure yourself, where your children don't have to pay any university fees and so forth, have that money ready for it. So when it comes to their time to go university, you could pay the £9,000 a year cash and so forth and so forth. Am I in that position now? No. Am I working and am I on that journey? Yes, I am. So it's very important to kind of be financially aware and so forth. And in schools, they don't teach this. They don't teach about financial independence and, money and the reality and so forth. Yeah, you could maybe study economics and so forth, but you're not going to actually get a grasp of the situation that you're in until you actually live in that life, when you find out about expenses. Just generally, if we just use the word tax, yeah, there's so many tax that we have to pay. We have to pay road tax, we have to pay VAT, we have to pay council tax, we have to pay income tax, we have to pay national insurance, which is classified pretty much as a tax and so forth. So everything tax. And that's just the tax of it, right? Then you've got your living costs. Yeah, as we know, living costs is going up and up and up. Yeah, you got your rent, you got your food, you got your electricity, you got your heating, and all these other things that come up with it. So it's just a never-ending spiral, So as Muslims, we should try and kind of getting out of that trap, if that makes sense. Yeah.
So focusing on the youth, what would the advice be? You said what you said. What would you advise them?
So my advice to the youth would be,
it's finance. What you just
in terms of finance.
What you just said, yeah.
In terms of finance. look into financial planning. See how you see, double around in different things, right? See what's available to you. For example, stock markets. The stock market didn't really work well for me. If anything, I lost money in the stock market. But I am looking at other little investments that I'm doing here, and I've got other platforms that I kind of invest money in, and different means that I'm actually thinking. I'm still working. The aim is not to quit my job, if that makes sense. The aim is to be in a situation where I'm not falling out the commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Does that make sense? Falling into a trap where, I have to take out a mortgage, or, when it comes to university for my kids, having to take out a student loan and so forth. And, being free and being able to travel, enjoying my hobbies. One of the things that I love doing is traveling. So being able to travel at any given time. Drop my bags and be like, Allah, I could get a jet set. So the advice to the youth is look around, dabble in a few things. Don't invest everything. Don't go all half-hearted and so forth in different things, and see what opportunities there are for you.
A young age, Do it now. Do it younger.
Yeah. Look into it. At least study and learn into it, if that makes sense. Learn what it's about. And I'm still learning. Honestly, as I said, it was the beginning of the pandemic. No one becomes financially free overnight, and I'm still on that journey. Still on that journey.
All right, thank you for that. I've got more questions, but
go ahead if you want.
I like to break it down.
Yeah, that's fine. No worries.